Imagine waking up with the worst toothache of your life. Your jaw is pounding. Your head feels like it's lost a fight with a mammoth. Every heartbeat feels like someone is stabbing your tooth with a tiny stone spear. No problem. You'll just call your dentist. Except it's 30,000 years ago. There are no dentists. No painkillers, no antibiotics, no toothbrush. And the closest thing to healthcare is a guy named Grug, who believes every medical problem can be solved by hitting it with a different rock. Welcome to the Stone Age. Now, this might sound like a comedy sketch, but it's actually a fascinating scientific question. What really happened if one of our prehistoric ancestors developed a toothache? Would they simply suffer until they died? Or did they have surprisingly clever ways of dealing with it? The answer is far more interesting than you might think. Let's start with some good news. Stone Age people actually had better teeth than many of us. Seriously, your biggest dental enemy today isn't your genetics. It's that chocolate bar you promised yourself you'd only eat one piece of. Prehistoric humans didn't have sweets. No fizzy drinks, no donuts, no caramel, no midnight trips to the fridge because you suddenly needed cheese. Instead, they ate wild meat, fish, berries, nuts, roots, and edible plants. Very little refined sugar meant the bacteria that cause cavities had far less fuel to work with. That's why archaeologists often find surprisingly healthy prehistoric teeth. Unfortunately, healthy doesn't mean indestructible. Imagine chewing dried meat every day, cracking open nuts with your teeth, accidentally biting tiny stones mixed into ground plants, using your mouth as an extra hand to grip animal hides or pull plant fibers. Your teeth worked overtime. Over years, enamel slowly wore away. Teeth cracked. Small injuries became larger ones, and eventually, someone woke up holding their jaw exactly like you do after eating ice cream too quickly. Only there wasn't any ice cream. That probably made the day even worse. So, what could they actually do? Well, first of all, they weren't stupid. Far from it. Early humans spent thousands of generations learning which plants were useful. Some reduced inflammation. Some contained natural antibacterial chemicals. Others may have numbed pain slightly when chewed. They didn't understand chemistry, but they understood results. If chewing a certain root helped Grandpa stop complaining about his tooth, everyone remembered that root. Knowledge spread through stories instead of textbooks. In many ways, the oldest people in the tribe were walking encyclopedias. The downside? If your encyclopedia wandered off chasing a mammoth, you suddenly forgot half your medical knowledge. Now, here's something Hollywood almost never gets right. Prehistoric people actually cared for each other. Archaeologists have discovered skeletons with broken bones that healed completely. Others survived serious injuries for years. Some elderly individuals lived despite missing teeth and severe physical disabilities. None of that happens if everyone only looks after themselves. If someone had a painful tooth and couldn't hunt, the rest of the group probably shared food if chewing became impossible. Others likely helped prepare softer meals. Helping one injured person increased the group's chance of surviving together. Kindness wasn't just nice, it was practical. Of course, being surrounded by supportive friends doesn't magically fix an infected tooth. And that's where things became dangerous. The real enemy wasn't always the pain, it was infection. Today, if bacteria reach the inside of your tooth, you visit a dentist. 30,000 years ago, your immune system had to fight the battle alone. Sometimes it won, sometimes it didn't. Archaeologists have found ancient skulls showing signs of dental abscesses, painful infections around damaged teeth. Some individuals survived long enough for bone to begin healing. Others almost certainly weren't as lucky. It's strange to think that something smaller than your thumb could become life-threatening. But your mouth contains hundreds of different kinds of bacteria. Normally, they're harmless. Give them away into damaged tissue, and suddenly one aching tooth becomes a much bigger problem. Now let's answer the question everyone secretly wants to know. Did Stone Age dentists pull teeth? Probably not in the way you're imagining. We don't have evidence of organized dentistry 30,000 years ago. However, later archaeological discoveries show that ancient people eventually became surprisingly skilled. Some prehistoric farming communities from thousands of years later even drilled damaged teeth using tiny stone tools. Read that again. They invented primitive dentistry with rocks. Suddenly your dentist's drill doesn't seem quite so scary. Well, maybe just a little less scary. There's another reason prehistoric humans may have had fewer dental problems. Their jaws were generally larger. Scientists believe constant chewing from childhood helped develop stronger jaw muscles and wider jaws. That may explain why impacted wisdom teeth were less common than they are today. Meanwhile, modern humans eat soft foods for years, then spend thousands having wisdom teeth removed. Evolution probably didn't see that one coming, so would you survive a toothache in the Stone Age? Maybe. If it was a cracked tooth or mild infection, your body might recover. Helpful plants, rest, and support from your tribe could make a huge difference. But if the infection became severe, things could turn deadly. Not because prehistoric humans were primitive, but because antibiotics simply didn't exist. And that's perhaps the biggest lesson. Our ancestors weren't fearless superheroes, nor were they helpless cave people. They were intelligent, adaptable humans doing the very best they could with the knowledge and tools they had. Every useful plant they discovered, every injury they treated, every lesson they passed to the next generation, eventually became part of the long journey that led to modern medicine. So the next time you're sitting in a dentist's chair, staring nervously at a tiny drill, remember this: 30,000 years ago, your treatment plan probably sounded something like, chew this mysterious root. If that doesn't work, ask Grug. Actually, don't ask Grug. If he starts walking towards you holding a rock, run.